What is up, my flockers? It's the Birdman coming at you with a commentary. So sorry guys, I know it's been a little while since I uploaded, and kind of embarrassing since I just recently did a video kind of talking about what you need to do to stay consistent on your channel. But life happens, so really quick to let you know what happened was on Monday night, a drunk driver smashed into my parked car in front of my house. And he totaled his truck in a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit road. So which means he was going much faster than 25 miles an hour. And he demolished his truck, took like the back end of mine off, bent in the back wheel. He actually tried to leave the scene of the accident, and I had to chase him down and get him back to my house and called the cops. He got arrested for drunk driving. So in your face, mofo. That's what you get for one, drinking and driving, two, speeding while drinking and driving, and three, also checking your phone while drinking, driving, and speeding, because he told us that's what he was doing. So yeah, you kind of deserve it to go to jail. So I've been dealing with that, having to get a rent-a-car, having to deal with the insurance, having to get my car towed, having to deal with the auto shop who's repairing my car. So that's kind of where I've been, on top of all my other life stuff. When something random like this comes up, it really messes up my world. So with everything else, I'm just way too busy to have some bullshit random thing come up. So this commentary, I wanted to talk to some of you guys out there who might be interested in this topic, and it's ways to get started into working out or lifting, and or just that healthy lifestyle, right? A lot of people get overwhelmed and don't start it because they don't know where to start. And I think the best place to start in this case, for one, is gotta be you, right? Like, you have to decide this is something you actually want to do. It's not somebody tells you you should get in shape. It's not someone tells you you're overweight, so you're going to do it because you're tired of their what they're saying to you. It's like you have to actually want to work out and find a way to enjoy it, because that's the first step. If you can't figure that out, you'll never stick with it. So that I know that it sounds like such a bullshit piece of advice, but it is true. Like, if you don't want to, and you can't find a way to figure out like how to make it enjoyable for yourself, and like you yourself don't make that decision, you're going because other people are telling you to, you're never going to stick with it. It's never going to work. It's never going to be something that you stick with, and it's going to be a waste of time. So that's my first piece of advice. Second piece of advice is start with one thing. One. Like, you can't say, I'm going to go to the gym 5 days a week, and I'm going to eat right, and I'm going to take out all my sweets, and I'm going to wake up early and run too. It's not going to work. Ever. With anything you do. You have to approach it like one step at a time. Like, let one thing that you do in terms of like fitness, and I guess it can apply to anything, but in this case I'm talking fitness, like I told you guys I would, because it's something else I'm passionate about. One thing at a time. Let it become habit. Choose what you want. Personally, the way I approach it, and I think it's very effective, is make working out become a habit. Keep eating like shit. Keep your sleep schedule off. Make working out become the first habit that you go after, because that will kind of counteract the shitty eating and allow you to gain some muscle at the same time, because you're eating all these crazy excess calories that will help you actually gain muscle. You're going to gain fat at the same time. So let that become a habit. Start off with like 3 days a week, and then slowly grow to like 4 to 5 days a week, and then it becomes a habit after a month or 2 months, and then you move on to the next thing. Then you slowly start to eat better would be the next thing, right? Like, don't say, I'm going to cut out all the junk, and then I'm going to just eat clean and super healthy forever, right? No. Make it so you have 4 days a week that you eat super healthy, and then 3 days a week where you eat like shit. And then start to take those out. Start to take one extra day out. Start to take one extra crappy meal out, to the point where you eventually just have one cheat day or one cheat meal, and that's where you're at. And then if you're still enjoying it, if it's still attainable for you, then take that last cheat meal out. I'm telling you, I'm very strict. I'm very responsible with how I eat and how I lift, but I have fallen off the wagon before. And sometimes it was from being too strict and burning myself out. Where recently, actually, there was like a 2-week period where I wasn't eating very good. I was eating worse more often than I was eating good, and that's not okay. So those are the simple piece of advice. So take it one step at a time. I see so many people try and start this working out thing, and I like to call it a journey on your fitness path, because it really is a journey in figuring out what works best for you. But they give me this bullshit line of, oh yeah, I started eating healthy, super healthy, and I'm going to work out 5 days a week. And then what happens? They're gone 2 weeks later. Sometimes not even 2 weeks, they're out of there. And that is because they've taken on way too much, way too fast. You can't stick to it. It's nobody, there's very few people that I've seen that take all that on at once and actually, succeed and continue with it. It's because they just get too burnt out on it, and they don't figure out in each little phase, because there's different parts of working out, what works for you. And if you take it all on at once, you don't have time to figure out what works best for you. And so those are the pieces of advice. You have to approach it twofold. You have to approach it from a couple different aspects. But one, make sure that you're hitting each thing one step at a time. My suggestion is working out first. Make that a habit, but you could make it eating healthy first and then attacking working out. And make sure you're doing it in steps and taking out things incrementally and not all at once. Otherwise, you're not going to stick with it. And make sure that your mind is right. If this doesn't work, the rest of it's not going to work. If you don't want to go, you're not going to go. You're not going to wake up early. You're not going to push through that next day when you're sore. It's not going to happen. So, simple piece of advice. Simple but hard for people to understand for whatever reason. I don't get it. To me, that's just simple logic. If you want to work out, these are the steps you need to take. These are the easy steps to make it happen and make it stick. It's simple, but the reason it's not simple for people is because they don't actually want to work out. They don't get this right first. So, and if you don't want to work out, that's cool. I don't blame you. Sometimes it sucks, but don't tell me that you're gonna work out and then don't tell me you're gonna work out and then you don't. That's bullshit. So, this is the Birdman. Peace out, my flockers.